Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video just so you can see the full screen. And today we are very lucky to have Lisa Hill from Infobase here to tell us all about Credo Reference. And Credo Reference is a great resource, especially for students who struggle with getting started with research in the library. It's one of our many databases in the library, but it's one that's really good for background research. It's full of encyclopedias, handbooks, manuals, ebooks, as well as images and things like that for students to really explore a subject or topic. Lisa's going to get into more detail about all the amazing features that Credo Reference has, but I just wanted to sort of give my own insight into why it's great. And it really is a great way. Sometimes we refer to it as like a citable Wikipedia because it has that breadth of encyclopedia knowledge, but students have trouble because, obviously they can't credit Wikipedia as a credible resource. They can't use it for their courses. So whenever they're looking for a credible resource on like background research, we always point them towards Credo Reference. And I wanted to give you just an idea of how to find Credo in the library. But before I do, I also wanted to share with you, let me find my screen here. I've got the Writing Center up here. I wanted to share with you on the Writing Center, we actually have a link under Faculty Services to HTML announcements. And these are our available HTML course announcements, if you're not aware. This is sort of a new thing for us. We're posting these now on the Writing Center, both library and writing and tutoring HTML announcements. And I wanted to point out the one that we have for background research. This is a great way if after this presentation, you decide you want your students to know how to find Credo Reference and all of our other great resources for building that background research. We already have the HTML announcement ready for you. So you can go there, and I'll put the link to this in the chat as well. So you can bookmark it. But basically, you'll just copy and paste this in your Canvas classroom. And this way you can share out with students a tip sheet that we have for how to find Credo Reference and how to get to this amazing resource to start building their foundational knowledge for a topic. So just a little plug for our HTML announcements there. Now I wanted to show you how to get to Credo in the library. And this is what that HTML announcement will walk students through as well. So the easiest way to get there is from the library homepage, going to Encyclopedias and Dictionaries. And you'll notice Credo Reference, it's our top encyclopedia database. So we click on that and it will jump us out in a new window to the Credo Reference homepage. Now, if at any point there's a database, let me back up. If there's ever a database that you're looking for and you're not sure how to get there, these gray buttons are great. Like I showed you, you can click Encyclopedias and Dictionaries to get to Credo. But if you ever don't quite know what you're looking for, go to the Find Articles and More spot on the homepage. And from there, you can get to an alphabetical list of all the databases we have. And we have a lot. We've got over 90. So it can be a little bit disorienting, but this alphabetical list makes it really easy just to find exactly what you're looking for. So you can jump to, for example, C for Credo, and it's right there in our alphabetical list. And we also have these organized as well by subject, if there's a specific subject that you're looking for, or type as well. If, for example, you're looking for encyclopedias or maybe dissertations or case law, something like that. Okay, so also a good thing to note is that when you search in Library OneSearch, the results will include Credo results. So it is one of the many databases that Library OneSearch, our search engine on the library homepage, searches when you type in those topics. All right, from there, I will stop my share and hand things over to Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's make sure I have the correct screen up. That's the one. All right. I'm going to slideshow mode. And you can all see my screen right now. Does that sound right?
Yes, looks great.
Awesome, thanks. So my demonstration today is going to aim for 30 to 45 minutes. Please feel free to pepper me with questions, and I'll do my best to make this interesting for you folks, not dry, hopefully. So Credo reference. This is, as Karen mentioned, we're encyclopedias and dictionaries. We like to think of ourselves sort of as an academic alternative to Wikipedia. We are multi-publisher, so we're pulling in over 100 different publishers. So if you do have any favorite publishers out there that you like referring to or linking to in your courses, I'm going to show you how to browse our publisher list. With Credo reference, the idea is, we're foundational background information, fact-based, that's vetted by academic publishing houses, all created by academics. It's fully citable. It's not editable. So we are that academic alternative to Wikipedia, and hopefully someplace that you can point your students to, or you can use as sort of a repository for content if you want to pull stuff out and put it into your course. So what I'm going to do is, actually, before I go into the next slide, I want to point out we have a mind map as well as content. The mind map is great for exploratory search. It's great for writing papers. It's great for helping students get ideas for papers. We also have a federated search interface, which I'll tell you about because there are a couple ways to link out of Credo if you're just in there kind of exploring around. But so I want to focus a bit on the content. As I mentioned, you're around 1,000 or so titles from 100 different publishers. We have well over 400,000 images. You are welcome to use our images. Your students are welcome to use our images for research and educational purposes. All of our content have embed codes and permalinks. So you can take, the image of the heart and put it into your biology course or your art course or whatever course you might want an image of a heart for. You can feel free to use our content, within your learning management system freely. So let me move on there. We also have a federated search, which I'm actually not going to spend a ton of time on today. But there is a link out. This is more helpful for librarians kind of teaching instruction rather than faculty members, but I'll touch on it in a little bit. But who we are in a nutshell: academic alternative to Wikipedia, a simple place to start your research for fact-based background information on any topic. But we're also a bookshelf of 1,000 encyclopedias, dictionaries, atlases from 100 publishers. And each of our articles and mind maps have embed codes and links and are very instruction friendly. So let me back out of the map and let's actually go take a look at the platform itself. So this is Credo reference. And where I will begin is a little bit different than where your students might, if they jump into this platform, they might just start typing away in the search box. But when I'm speaking to librarians or faculty members, I kind of like to use, position Credo as a giant bookshelf. So you guys have 1,181 titles, if you can see in that search box, from 121 different publishers. So I'm going to open up the 3 lines next to the Credo reference logo and I click on all titles. And I think that I've just logged out. Hold on a second. I was logged in too quickly. Let's see. Go in here. I was playing around in this and I didn't re-authenticate. So let me come back here. There we are. So this is 1,181 titles, as I mentioned, and this is your title list. So when you run a search at that big search bar at the top of the screen, if you run a search on Julius Caesar, for example, any of these titles that have Julius Caesar content will spit out articles in your result list relating to Julius Caesar. Obviously, a lot of it won't have it. But when you're searching Credo, that is what you're searching, this list of individual ebooks. Now I'm going to go through searching in just a bit, but first I kind of want to show you the table of contents page and show you how you can manipulate it. First thing I would show you is, I'm sure that faculty members, you deal with specific subject areas. So the subject browse would be very, very helpful for you. If you are in, veterinary medicine or biology or whatever, I'm filtering by animals and veterinary medicine. You can kind of browse through the content that way. Each of these books is full text, contains images, has a direct URL that you can link to, and it's browsable. So I'll open up the Arctic Guide, Wildlife of the Far North from Princeton University Press. Every single one of our books has a table of contents page, and if you want to use it in your course, you're just going to use the page link right at the top of the screen. So where you see it says Arizona Global Campus, right above that it says page link. And what you're going to do is grab this URL that's already authenticated, and you can link directly to this book directly into your learning management system, or email it to a student that might find it useful. This table of contents page is browsable. You can go down and click any of these articles. You can search within this title. You can also browse by headings or take a look at the different images. You can see that there are over 1,000 images in this title alone. Of course, there'll be of animals and maps for the most part in this particular work. And you can open up the content and browse through it as well. So I'll click on geomorphic provinces. I don't know why I chose this specific title, but this is the article, Geomorphic Provinces. It's exactly what you would read if you had the print version of the book, including any images, charts, maps, and graphs. Again, you're welcome to use this content and these images in your learning management system. There's a full citation available in 4 different formats at the bottom of every entry page. We also have a translate feature, which will allow you to translate the content. It's a Google Translate into any one of over 60 languages. We have a read aloud feature. You can print to PDF or share this via email. Now, again, with the page link, when you're looking at an entry versus a table of contents page, so I was just on the table of contents page. If I back up, this is the table of contents page where it says contents. You don't see any full text content here. You just see a list of links. But if you were to open up one of those articles, like we did for Geomorphic Provinces, that page link above your logo will now include an embed code. So you can use the embed codes to embed full text reference content, context setting, foundational reference directly in your courses, so that your students will have the definition of geomorphic provinces directly in their course page. You can build out, whichever article or whichever title would best support, your course, your studies. So that's the table of contents page. And again, you get there by going to the 3 lines next to the Credo logo, then clicking on all titles. I use the subject drop down to take a look at animals and vet medicine, but we're general knowledge, general reference. So we have content in over 80 broad subject areas, and you're welcome to link directly to individual subject categories. You find that link again with that page link above your logo there. We have a huge number, hundreds of thousands of images. I'm sorry about this. Hold on a second. I keep logging out accidentally. Here is the all titles. Hold on a sec. Sorry about this, folks. Not sure what's going on. There we are. So if you filter by a specific subject area, I mentioned we have hundreds of thousands of titles in art and art history. In our Bridgman collection, the Bridgman Art Library archive images. So we have a number of these. If we have any art faculty on the call today, you can use the title contains box and just type in Bridgman. And so we have 11 titles. So if you wanted to grab the page link here, that will allow you to link directly to this page of 11 art titles to your course page, or you can link it to a LibGuide if you're a librarian. You can open up these different Bridgman images and they'll tell you exactly how many images these books contain. So this has 15,000 images. The vast majority of the Bridgman Art Library archive images are out of copyright. Again, I apologize for the oddities here. It'll tell you that right on the screen. You're welcome to use our images again for research, educational purposes. Grab that embed code and link directly to that that article, or embed it if you want to.
Sorry to interrupt, Lisa. It looks like we might have a question from Dr. Moore.
Okay. Let me take a look.
I think he raised his hand. Was that, sorry.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Apologies. I didn't unmute. My apologies.
Oh, no problem.
Weather, so I'm a little slow today. But my question is, apologies if you've already answered it. How do we get to this? I was trying to put in the web address directly and it didn't take me to it. Did I miss that step perhaps?
Yeah, sorry. So the easiest way is you'll have to go through the library because you have to authenticate. This is one of our subscription databases. So from the library homepage, you can click on the gray encyclopedias and dictionaries button underneath our library one search box.
Okay, thank you.
And from there, you'll see a link to Credo reference. And I'll put those instructions in the chat too.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great question. Thank you.
And I'll go back to the all titles link again. And again, I apologize for my wonky authentication. It's one of the issues. I'm usually IP authenticated, but I'm actually not within the IP range. So, and I'm going to go to, we've looked at the subject drop down. We also have a publishers drop down. So if you do have a favorite publisher like Elsevier or Sage or Cabby or Oxford University Press, you can filter by that publisher to see what type of content we have here. So 35 titles from Elsevier. And again, you can link to the list of titles, or you can open up individual encyclopedias and grab the page link there. So that's the easiest way to browse through the content and kind of treat it like a bookshelf. You can link to individual titles or just link to individual articles. Now, another way that you can use Credo reference is with the search box. And this is great if you're dealing with beginning researchers, those that are, maybe overwhelmed by discovery, the robust discovery systems in your library, or just overwhelmed in general. It's not just library resources that might be overwhelming, but the internet as a whole. Maybe they're doing their background information on Facebook and TikTok instead of resources that you would want them to use. So there's so many different places for them to start. Credo is intended to be as simple as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and just run a search on economics. So I execute my search, and what I'm doing is I'm searching that list of 1,000 titles that we kind of started this demonstration with. And our result page is intended to be very simple for beginning researchers. You have a basic summary article. This is from Sage, the Sage Glossary of Social and Behavioral Sciences. You can click the Read More button to get the entire article, which would include the Read More link is right there, which would include that full citation and embed code and stuff if you wanted to bring that in. You can scroll down, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see economics articles taken from our full list of encyclopedias and dictionaries. This is also great for teaching. So if you are helping students with resource evaluation on a very beginner level, saying, what is the difference between a encyclopedia and a dictionary and an atlas, or, why is the economics article from a dictionary of political thought, why is that going to be different than economics from the essentials of philosophy and ethics? So you can kind of teach students to look at topics through different subject lenses and through different types of resources or types of books and ebooks. So you can use it as a teaching tool in that way. So you can open up these books, or these articles, I should say, exactly what you would read if you had the print version of this book open in front of you. And again, this content is linkable and embeddable with that little page link right above that Arizona Global Campus logo. You just click on embed, and you can grab this URL and embed this directly into Canvas. I actually have a Canvas page up that I did this morning. I've got a James Baldwin article from Credo linked into Canvas, and I did that by just using that embed code. So I can edit this just quickly to show you how fast it is. If I wanted to put this economics article from the Essentials of Philosophy and Ethics into my Canvas page in place of James Baldwin, and again, I'm just doing this for example, demo purposes. I just have to find the HTML editor and paste in that embed code and save it. I know it says James Baldwin at the top. I'll go back and fix that. And that did not work. My apologies. Hold on. Let me having a moment today with Credo here. Let me do this. Embed that. There, that should be better. There it is. So you can see, I know again, it still says James Baldwin. You can change the name of the page, but that is how quick it is to paste in a full text background article from Credo into your Canvas or Learning Management System page. So that is how you'd find an article from the result page. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that we have this mind map, and this is great for exploratory search. What you're looking at here is the center node is our search term, economics. It's surrounded by the concepts that will show up with the greatest amount of frequency when you're reading about economics in the Credo collection as a whole. So if I'm reading about economics from the Palgrave Macmillan Dictionary of Political Thought and the Essentials of Philosophy and Ethics, et cetera, all the way down the list, there's a really good chance I'm going to be running up against these concepts as well. So I can click on different concepts and my entire result page will change. And now I'm looking at macroeconomics, and I can scroll down on the left and get all of this great macroeconomics content from different Credo titles, from different publishers. So this is from Princeton University Press, Encyclopedia of Macroeconomics. I'm not sure who's publishing that, but you'll find that on the table of contents page. The Social Science Jargon Buster, all kinds of great content here to, again, teach resource evaluation, teach students how to look at our articles through subject-specific lenses. And this is, again, is just a great teaching tool, the mind map. We have one professor, I always tell this story, in a university in Pennsylvania that will use the mind map in their first year writing classes when all the students choose sort of a newsworthy or controversial topic, like gun politics or, abortion or something that's in the news. And they'll have to write their first draft just without, just go write your first draft, and the teacher would then, a faculty member then would take a look at all of the drafts and then say, okay, now you're going to use the mind map from Credo, and we're going to find concepts and vocabulary words that are maybe new to you that you've never heard of before. Like, what's the Gun Control Act of 1968? What's the National Rifle Association? And you'll come up with a bunch of reference content over on the left-hand side of the screen that will, again, offer reference, that's fact-based background information through different subject lenses. So Encyclopedia of American Studies might give you a slightly different article on the NRA than the Britannica Concise, or the Dictionary of American Government and Politics, or the Gun Debate, Encyclopedia of Gun and Control and Gun Rights. And yeah, the second draft that the professor in Pennsylvania would require those students to use things they've, new vocabulary words and new concepts they've learned from that mind map in their next draft. So I thought that was an interesting way of using the Credo mind map.
That's awesome, Lisa. I love the mind map, and I love the idea of using it for an assignment like that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to see if we could pause. We've had a couple questions. One come up in the chat that I wasn't sure that I could provide an answer for. And then it looks like Dr. Woods also has his hand raised. One was about copyrighted images. You mentioned something about out of copyright images. Are there other images that we can use through Credo with no cost?
You're able to use our images, any of the 400,000 images, for research and educational purposes, and you can put them in your LMS, behind a login screen.
Right.
The reason I mentioned the out of copyright images in Bridgman is because the Bridgman collection, and that's probably 200 to 300,000 of our, 400 to 600,000 images. Those all happen to be out of copyright. So you can probably find those images on the open web as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I meant. It's just, we happen to have a huge number of images that are out of copyright, and the easiest way to find them is to go to the all titles page and then just look for the word Bridgman. And then you can kind of browse through these different books. So anything in the Bridgman, and it'll tell you right in the article itself if it's out of copyright. So if I
Nice.
open up this particular Bridgman title, you'll see copyright, out of copyright.
Okay.
But when using, Credo's content in the LMS and things like that, you're welcome to use the embed code. It's part of
That's
the-
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many good educational images that we could definitely definitely use in our courses, I think.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
And Dr. William, do you have a question for us?
Yeah,
Did you still
sure,
have your hand
Lisa.
raised?
Yeah.
You were showing us some wonderful mind maps, and I was wondering, do we grab those with the embed code, and then do we put a citation underneath them in our classroom, like in APA, or how's that work?
Well,
So
the
that we can-
mind map itself is embeddable. So let me just go ahead and I'll do, let me go back and change that. I'll do James Baldwin. I'm gonna make sure that my heading for James Baldwin actually has James Baldwin content instead of macroeconomics content. So with the mind map, right below it, you can see an embed code. So whatever mind
Yes.
map you build, there's your embed code. So I grab this and copy it. So I'm just going to Control C, and then I would put it into my course. I have to find the HTML edit field wherever that is in your LMS.
Yes.
And I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to put in the James Baldwin mind map and save. And it's just a keyword generator at this point. So there's really no citation necessary. There is the ability to export this to PDF. And there's
Yeah.
also a live link to it right here. So they can actually go to Credo from there. The full text articles will have citations in the embed. So if I open up this James Baldwin article, which has a bunch of images, and I wanted to embed this as well, I'm going to grab the embed code. Yeah, you don't have to worry about carrying the citations over, because anything that needs to be cited using our embed code will include the citation in the embed. So let me go back here and I'll just add that to the bottom there. Save. So I got my James Baldwin mind map, and then my James Baldwin content. And then at the bottom of that content, there's your citation.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't need to do any extra work to bring the citation over, and you don't need a citation for the mind map since it's just a tool.
Sure. Wow, that is really wonderful. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Sure, no problem. All right. What was that? Let me go back. I'll do Julius Caesar again. Now I mentioned we do have those 400,000. It's 400,000 to 600,000. I do a lot of these demos, and we have a collection called Complete Core, which is really our public library collection, and I think they have 600,000 images. So I keep getting confused. So I know it's 200,000 is a big number to get confused on, but I just do too many of these demos. But the easiest way to find these images is to use our little image toggle. So if I click on images here, now I have all this great Julius Caesar imagery. Most of these images will be from Bridgman. So if I open up one of these images, you're on Bridgman, there's your copyright statement. But if you want to put this whole thing into your course, just grab that page link at the top, click on embed, and grab your embed code, copy that in, paste it right into your field. That will allow you to bring along the citation and all of that great stuff. So articles here, and then you can toggle over to images, and then the mind map is like your little steering wheel. You can have a lot more fun with the mind map as well. You can make a double mind map. So if I click on Roman Republic, I can see two nodes next to each other, and I can also create embed code of the two nodes. So if I want Gallic Wars and Julius Caesar in one mind map, I can grab that embed code and put put it right into my learning management system if you want to. It'll still be interactive. It just might be something you want to do to prove a point. So I go down here, I'm now on Gallic Wars, and I'm on a brand new Credo screen with my background information from my Credo title list on the left, mind map on the right, and then we have this search feature, which we've worked with your library to set up. And these are simple continue searching links. So let's say you found your background information from the Encyclopedia of Ancient Rome on the Gallic Wars, and you're happy with that. Your student is. We never want you to hit a dead end. We certainly don't want your students to hit a dead end, because when they do, who knows where they go, right? They go to Google or wherever, TikTok. So we set up little pathways to the other resources that you subscribe to. And with one click, we're looking at Gallic Wars. With one click, we will be able to launch you into one of those other resources, which I will not be able to do because I'm outside your proxy. I'm not a member of your community. So I'm going to hit a login screen, but you folks will not. So you can seamlessly continue into the other resources that the library is investing in and suggesting might be next steps for your students. So let me go back here, run another search. We have some really nice anatomy resources. And you can, again, click on images there to see some of our content in that area. You all have access to this resource. So running a basic search is always the best way to kind of get familiar with it. But also dive into the encyclopedias themselves. And I'll show you just a few of my favorites. If I go back to all titles, again, I apologize for this. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. Log in. Go back to all titles. Doesn't want me to do this.
Well, the good news is that's not ever happened to me. So I think it's not an issue that we have on our end of things. So I'm sorry that it's happening.
I've never had that issue either. So
yeah.
For what it's worth, this is not Credo is actually not usually buggy at all. So I just want to make sure assure you this is not a typical experience.
Yeah, it is due to my machine because I am IP authenticated, but I am not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not within the IP range that I'm authenticated, so I'm relying on my cookies. So that does not affect you all because you all are within your Open Athens authentication.
Gotcha.
Yes, so sorry about that. That's my issue.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show you a couple of my favorites here, and type in whatever keyword is interesting to you. So I'm going to do the root of architecture. I'll do Archi. And you can see 7 titles that will have Archi, and it looks like they're all architecture, except for the Wisden Archive of Cricketers Live from 2015. But I can remove that using a Boolean search tool. So I can say Archi or nurse, not lives for Cricketers Lives, or I'll say Wisden. So see how it's Wisden Archive of Cricketers Lives? I want an architecture list that contains nursing titles, but not Wisden's archive. And I don't know why architecture and nursing is a list I'm building, but you can do that. Here, second, I took out Wisden. I guess it's not working. Nurse. Oh, there we are. It's nursing, not nurse. So you can see I've added Dictionary of Nursing Theory to my architecture list. And the idea here is you can take keywords of our 1000 title list and you can connect them with Boolean operators or not. So you can take, let me just go out and start fresh here, if it will let me reset all. Sorry. I'm going to try Islam or Christianity, or I'll just put Christianity or Judaism. 11 titles. And I can see that I've got, like, maybe I don't want ancient, Encyclopedia of Ancient Christianity. So I'm going to take the word not, and I'm going to put the word ancient. So I'm still going to have words Judaism, Islamic, Christianity, but I'm going to take out the word ancient. And so I no longer have that Encyclopedia of Ancient Christianity. So you can get really clever with building different title lists that you can then link to. So you just grab that page link and link that directly to your course page. So if you have 4 favorite titles that maybe they're not even in the same subject, you can grab title keywords and link them with Boolean operators. All right, so that is a tour of Credo reference. Are there any other questions? Is there anyone here? Am I here by myself?
We didn't leave you. No.
Okay, I was like, I don't see anybody and it's so silent.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I don't see any other questions right now. That is, oh, thank you, Dr. Ashley. Yeah, so I think we're good. We're all with you. Any other questions? You can drop them in the chat or just grab the microphone. But this is great. Yeah,
Karen was saying in the chat to me privately that this is the most engaged we've seen faculty in a long time. And I think it's a testament to this wonderful database, and this resource has been, it's just such a foundation of our library. It's been really a cornerstone to our library for many years. And we just appreciate you coming and all the work that you've done in supporting us over the years. And that's why I say Bethany in particular is my best friend, because she is so responsive to my millions of emails I send her all the time. And you all are great to work with. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great, that's good to hear.
Thanks, Kira.
Thank you guys. And thank you to the faculty for such great questions. I know with these Wednesday webinars, it's like, it's always in the morning, and I get excited if like one person has a question, but this has been such a productive session. We've got ideas for ways to get this out to students. And this is just a great resource for us to lean on. So thank you so much, Lisa and Bethany, for being here.
Fantastic.
And thank you,
Thanks
faculty, for joining us. All right, if there's no other questions, then I'll just let everybody get back to their day. Thank you all so much, and have a great Wednesday.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.